Hello and welcome. This is Chris-Ann and I'm coming at you from Elemental Energies with Chris-Ann. Today we are going to decorate some wooden tags and I'm going to use these as charms. I don't have any pre-made. We're going to make them together. And these I'm going to be used as little charms and little dangles in the journal that I am building for my son. I've been doing quite a few videos on this journal, so you can look back and see some of those. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to decorate these. This was from this 60 pieces, it says plus rope, but it's jute twine that I got off of Temu quite a while ago. So you may have seen that in a haul or something like that. I have different things that I'm going to decorate the tags with. I have some book page and I have some leftover pieces of the collage tissue paper, the ideology collage paper document. And I like to use up my little pieces. What I'm going to do is I'm going to paint these first. And I have different paints here. I have the Color Shift Turquoise, well, it's Aqua Flash Turquoise Brilliant. And this is a folk art one. I know it's hard for you to read that, maybe. I have that one. And I have the Green Flash Vert Brilliant. These are gloss acrylic paint, and they're both color shifts. So what does that mean? It means it looks one color one way, and you move it, it looks another color another way. There's a lot of gold in this one, and this one has some green, has some golds in it, and it has some blues, obviously, in it too. Whenever you are painting anything wooden with acrylic paint, the deal is you have to paint both sides, front and back. Otherwise, your piece will warp. I know this is a teeny tiny little brush. And to be honest, I might just end up using my finger. So we are going to paint both sides. Doesn't matter if you put a really thin coat on this. Don't want to forget the edges. These edges, I think it was cut out with one of those, was it the CNC machines or something? So the edges sort of have almost like a wood burning kind of edge to me. That's kind of what it reminds me of. I am just putting a very thin coat. Once again, this is a crappy brush. It's not my good brush. That's why I'm thinking I might just use my finger. So I want to just get the paint down. And I'm going to let this dry. Now you can see there's gold in there. There's gold in them there hills. So let's just get a little bit on the edges. We're painting the front. We will go and paint the back. I want the front to dry first. And I'm going to try and get all the spots covered. I'm attempting it. Once again, you can see I'm putting down a super thin coat. I don't need this thick. It's going to be covered in layers of other stuff. I am doing this because I want this sort of goldy green to shine through the tissue paper. There. That's a nice even coverage. And since I'm doing a really thin coat, it's not quite dry. I can feel the the layers of the wood lifted ever so slightly because it's not 100% dry, but it is dry enough for me to come in and do the other side. I like working with these color shift paints. I get them at Hobby Lobby, and I have seen them at not Michael's, at Walmart as well. They probably have them at Michael's. But I do like the color shift paints. And it functions just like a regular acrylic. It's just the final result is a smidge different, that's all. So I like to come in and sort of smooth out some of the streaky paint lines. There. You can see, well, maybe you can't see, but there's a very slight warp to this. Before I put the one on this side, it was starting to warp and curl up a little bit. That's why you need paint on both sides. This one's starting to do its smidge too. Oh, is that dry? Yeah, that's pretty dry. So let me come in and I will do this side. So when, like I was saying, if you don't do both sides, your piece is going to warp. It doesn't matter how thick the wood is. I've done acrylic painting on wood for years. I mostly do folk art painting. And I have a barrel stave that I painted. It was one of the first things I painted years and years and years and years ago of a barrel stave. And I never painted the back. The whole thing is warped. It curved forward. I mean, I could go back in and paint it now. I mean, it's been like 25 years. But I kind of leave it because it's kind of like a case in point. This is what happens. Okay, I'm good with those. I, of course, did not bring a thing of water right here. So let's do the blue. Let me shake this over here. You always got to give your acrylic paints a really good shake, especially the color shift ones. They settle. I like this one a lot. And I'm just going to do this. I'm only going to do one coat on each side. That's, to me, sufficient. I mean, I'm going to be coming in and sort of collaging on top of it. This one is much thinner looking. This is like watching paint dry. Literally. And these are just like very inexpensive little wood pieces. I want to make sure that that hole stays clear of the paint. Maybe I can come and wipe that. Well, I have my towel right here. Let me just use my towel. So we'll let that dry for a moment. Come in and do the edges over here. And this color shift paint comes in all different color variations. It's really neat. It's a lot more money to get the color shift paint. Let me tell you, it's like 4 times as much. But I do like it. It's a decent investment, and I've used it on quite a few projects. Okay, now let's get this colored. They say not to paint from the lid. I have never, ever, ever listened to that. I am not mixing paints into my lid. I'm using, I mean, even though I had a somewhat dirty brush, I knew it wasn't going to sort of stain the ink that was already in there. The paint, I mean, that was already in there. I want to smooth off this edge. There. Clean that just a hair. There. That one's reading a lot more green. Still a smidge damp, but that's okay. So let's get these done. And I'm going to use these as little dangling charm bits in my journal. Just kind of clean up that edge. Clean up the edge again. There, okay. That one's a lot more damper than the other one, but that's okay. And these go relatively quickly. You know, they're small. If you don't have something like this on or from Temu, don't worry, there's a lot of wooden cutout pieces that you can get at the local craft stores. Or hey, you can even do your own cutouts. You know, maybe you have one of those Glowforge machines and something like that. Okay, that one's a hot mess, but that's okay. We're going to let that one dry. I'm going to use this trusty towel that I have here that's absolutely filthy, but that's okay. It's what it's for. And I am going to clean off my brush as best as I can. It absolutely does need water, and I will wash it when I'm done the video. Actually, that's pretty good. Next thing I want to do is I have two different types of Mod Podge here. At least I think I do. Yeah, I do. Okay, I have the matte and I have the gloss. You need to decide what's going to work best for you. I like the matte. I don't normally give this like a hefty shake. I give it a roll. I don't want a lot of air bubbles in this. So you can see I'm sort of tipping it upside down and I'm giving it a roll. So all of this is hopefully coming here. I store them like this, upright. So I do need to give it a tip and give it a turn. Yep, those are dry. And they don't look warped to me. Nope, that looks pretty good. Can you see the difference? Did they, I don't know if they looked warp on the camera here. These I got at the Dollar Tree. You know what? I think I am just going to use that same brush because I got it pretty clean. So I have a thin coat of matte finish Mod Podge. or Mod Podge. I'm one of those ones that calls it the wrong name. It's Mod Podge. So I'm putting a very thin-ish coat on here. And then let me grab my tissue paper. I'm going to let that sit for a minute. I'm going to repeat over here. Just going to do a dot. That's all I need. It's more than what I need, frankly. But I am going to give the whole surface a coat, a thin coat. And on this one, I want to use some book page. And in this case, I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to give it a press. I'm going to let that sit. I'm going to let that sit. This side is pretty dry, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. That's way more than I needed. Yeah, that's dry. All right, let's get both of these done at the same time. Okay. And I want to do this piece. And I'm getting both, obviously, done at the same time. So I can let that dry. Now, at this point, I can decide, do I want to come and cover the top with a gloss? Do I want to continue to use the matte finish? And let's see, where? Oh gosh. I had my, let me clean this off. I had my sanding block. And I think it's buried over here. Let's see if we can lay our hands on it. If not, we will, nope, I'm not going to lay my hands on it just because I want it. That's why. Let's see if we can find it. Completely forgot I needed it, or else I would have had it ready. I have a lot of goodies on my desk. And it's probably way underneath everything. All right. Well, I'm not gonna mess up everything to find it. So, you know, I had just seen my other little sanding things for this. I wonder where I put those. Let me see if those are here. Because I haven't used that. Oh no, those are buttons. Let's see. I have a lot here on my desk. That doesn't mean... Ooh, is this it? Let's see. I think this is it. Holy crap. found it. Yay! That's a miracle. All right, let's use this block. Take that one off. We'll put this one on. These are the Tim Holtz. Oh, I moved all this. This is the Tim Holtz ones. Did I clean this off? Yep, I did. So let's move that. What I want to do is find my scissors. And I want to cut away a little bit. Let me put my glasses on here. Cut away a little bit because this I can use on one of the other sides. And I want to come in and cut some of that away. And let's see on this one, you're not going to see, you'll see the paint down here, but you're not going to see the paint through like you will on the tissue paper. So you see it on the edge. So let's get rid of that. And let's see, is this dry? Yeah, that's pretty dry. There. This I want to cut. See, I like the blue much better. But I like blue anyways. That looks neat to me. I like these little sanding things. I don't think it's going to last very long, but I do like them. The other thing I need to do is poke that hole. I'm just using the end of the paintbrush. That worked. Oops. There. There. Now, I don't know how it's going to work here. Oh, nicely. No problems whatsoever. Okay, I want to get the little bits off of this. Shake that into my garbage. Okay. Let's come in. Clean off these. Move that, because that's a hazard. Okay. And that's the one with the book page. So that's the one that I want to put tissue paper on right there. Now, I think I'll do the matte. But you certainly can do the, oh, that's much too much. I certainly can do the gloss. Let me put some over here. And the gloss would give it like a nice finish. But I like the matte. Okay, I'm just trying to smooth that out there. And let's add the tissue paper. That looks nice. And I think I want to add book page to the back of these. It's kind of a lot, but that's okay. What I might do is come in with gloss on the front. But let's let that dry for a little bit. Let's come in and add. So essentially this is a glorified glue. Actually, let me put it here. And I'll take just a little bit and come over here. And I'm going to do book page to the back of this one as well. There. This way they're double-sided. And I think that's going to look cute. This one doesn't matter too much if I don't smooth it out perfectly. The book page is a different thickness than the tissue paper. Okay, there's that. Let me clean this off once again. And what I want to do is, let me see, not 100% dry. No, not fully dry. I just want to make sure this is getting really good contact too to all the corners. I'm not sure that it is. There. Okay. That's much better. Just pushing it down was not enough. Okay. There's that. Let me come in and give this a little bit of a trim. I'm still going to do the sanding. Okay. Oh, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these apart. Let's cut some of this away. And let's cut this apart. And sanding. And that just kind of takes the final edges off and reveals the paint a little bit underneath as well. And let's poke through there. Okay, I like that. Let's come in with the sanding here. These move along fairly quickly. I mean, even though we're at the half-hour mark. Some of it I spent looking for my my sanding block. There. And if you poke that hole while it's still just a hair damp, it's better. There's that one. And let's take care of this one. And the sanding really makes this go so much quicker. If you hold it up kind of in the light, you can see where the hole is. There. There's that one, and one last one to go. Okay, let's move all those little bits, and then let's poke that hole in there. And I just kind of press it down. If I need to peel some of it away, I will. While this is still ever so slightly damp, it's what I'm calling like pliable and workable. Okay, next thing whoops, where did my paintbrush go? Oh, here it is. Next thing I want to do is move some of that dust. I want to come in with my brown ink. Now, some of this is probably going to smudge, but that's okay. Do that. Now, if I don't want to put a finish over this, I don't have to, because the paper kind of feels pretty good. And this, it's fairly sturdy because it has the Mod Podge underneath, but I am going to do a finish. If you are going to do a spray finish instead of a paint finish, I advise Workable Fixative by Crayon. You can get that at any craft store, and Walmart now sells it. For the longest time, you couldn't find it anywhere. Like a couple years ago, you couldn't find it anywhere. And it had like doubled in price because it was in high demand. Typically, when I spray anything, I do very fine coats of Workable Fixative first. If I'm working with something that I know is gonna smudge, I hold my spray can really far away and give it a very, very fine mist with it. And I do multiple coats that way. And that will hold my work that I'm doing and set the work that I'm doing, so that later I can maybe come in with, let's just say, a gloss spray finish. So that's my 2 cents worth. Okay, let's do the gloss. So let me give that another twist here. This one kind of has a big opening. Ooh, is it coming out? Oh, there it is. Okay. And we're going to use this brush, which probably has all that dust in it. So let me clean this out. Okay. Normally I like my brushes damp, not wet, but damp. And I forgot my water in the other room. There's that one. You don't need like a ton of this stuff on your piece. Just a nice coating. When you use a gloss, it makes the colors pop that you're using. Much more than a matte finish does, in my opinion. I like to use a matte finish when I'm doing more folk art kind of things. The bigger the brush, the quicker the project. So we're going to leave those to dry. This one's actually pretty good. Still a little damp, but I want to do the back so you can see it, especially on the book page. Now, it's a little streaky. You can see the streaks a little bit. That doesn't bother me. Just clean up the edges. That's what my cloth is good for here. There. And in all honesty, I would probably wear this as earrings. I like jewelry. I do a lot of things into jewelry. These are not too big for me. I would wear these as jewelry. This one is a thicker coat, so that one's going to take a little bit longer to dry, as will these. Actually, that one's pretty good. Let's do the back of this one. Do I have enough on my brush? Actually, I might have enough on my brush. And you can see the brown edging, I think looks pretty good there. Nice. I like these. I am going to put these on that because it's plastic and it won't stick the same way it will stick to paper. And when that's dry, I don't like that center hole thing. Yeah. Okay. But you can see how quick these are. How cute. I'm just going to take some of this out of the brush while we're waiting for these to dry. And I will wash my brushes when I am done this video because I don't want them to ruin my brushes. So now this is like watching paint dry. And let me get my next steps ready. Oh, that's pretty good. Did I do that one? Oh, I think I did. Yep, I did. But I want to fix that hole there a little bit better. So since this one's dry, we're going to let those two dry and we're going to finish this one so you can see my plan and my intention and how I'm going to finish this. How's this one doing? Oh, that's pretty good. Slightly damp. When it's slightly damp, it means it's not 100% dry. I know my fingers are filthy. But let me give you a close-up. So that's the green, that's the turquoise. That's the book page on the back, just because I like to have a finished back. I could have left it turquoise and green. Technically, it was finished because it was painted. But that's your call. That's how you want it. Okay, so let me show you how I'm going to utilize these. So I am going to grab some bulb pins. And I'm going to use green on this one. And I have my trusty charms container. And since this is going to be a car vehicle, I don't know if I have any of those charms. Let's see. I have a lot of animals. I have trees, I have feathers, I have leaves, I have keys, I have undersea aquatic life. I don't have vehicles. Okay, there's an excuse to get some. What are these? Oh, this is my mishmash. Oh, maybe I have some here. Let's see. $2025. Oh, that's the year he's graduating. Oh, I could always use that. Or maybe I'll save that for a graduation project. 2023. I have a crown. That might be kind of cute. Bicycles. It's too bad I don't have like a car. Here's a guitar. A lot of music notes. Okay, we'll use the crown. And we'll use a bicycle. We'll save the 2025 for something maybe like his graduation card or something. Okay. Doesn't exactly match what I have underneath it, but you get the idea. I'm probably going to change out the charms because I think I'm going to order some. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put eyelets into things, and then I'm going to have these dangle like that. This one, we'll use the blue. I have these bulb pins in all different colors. This is just what I quickly grabbed. But there. Super simple, super easy way to add charms. Oh, those are pretty dry. Charms and dangles to our projects. Let me close that. Oh, that one's still a little damp. Okay, we'll just leave that one like that. So I hope this has given you some ideas of some fun things that you can do to bring some fun and some whimsy into the journals that you are creating. If you make some of these, I'd love to see what you come up with. You can tag me. I'm on Instagram, Chrisanne1234. I'm on Blue Sky, Chrisanne1234, and Facebook, Elemental Energies with Chrisanne. And please subscribe to my channel. I think I'm going to do a leaf. Subscribe to my channel because I'm trying to get my numbers way up, and that would be helpful to me. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I'm just going to give these a last little charm here. There, I think those came out adorable, if I do say so myself. So, I hope you had fun with that one. Thanks for tuning in. Take care and be free.